The silver blade kisses my throat, cold as winter's first frost, and I close my eyes waiting for death, but instead of steel slicing through flesh, I feel teeth. The bite sears like a brand. I gasp, my eyes flying open as pain radiates from my neck in hot waves. This isn't how executions work. This isn't mine. The word rumbles through Kane's chest, vibrating against my body. The executioner's eyes blaze gold, feral and wild in a way I've never seen. Around us, the pack erupts. Voices rise in a cacophony of confusion and outrage. Someone shouts for the Alpha. Another screams betrayal. I kneel in the dirt of the killing grounds, the packed earth rough under my knees, trying to understand what just happened. Kane marked me. The Alpha's executioner just claimed me as his mate. I'm still processing this when he hauls me up and tosses me over his shoulder like I weigh nothing. My stomach hits solid muscle and the air whooshes from my lungs. What are you? Quiet. His voice is granite and gravel. Then he runs. The forest blurs past. Wind whips my hair into my face. I grip his shirt to keep from bouncing off his shoulder, my bound hands making it awkward. Behind us, howls split the twilight, the pack giving chase. My heart hammers against my ribs. This doesn't make sense. Kane's the Alpha's right hand, his most trusted enforcer. The man who's executed more rogues than anyone in pack history. Cold, efficient, merciless. That's what everyone says about him. He was supposed to end my life cleanly, quickly. Justice for a crime I didn't commit. Instead, he bit me. Marked me. Saved me. Why? The question burns hotter than the claiming mark throbbing at my neck. I can feel it there, a brand that ties me to him in ways I don't want to think about. The mate bond. The most sacred connection between wolves, now linking me to my would-be executioner. Kane doesn't slow down. He leaps over fallen logs and dodges through dense undergrowth like he knows every inch of these woods. Maybe he does. He's been the Alpha's hunter for years, tracking rogues through this territory, bringing them back for judgment. Bringing them back to die. The howls fade behind us. We've crossed into forbidden territory, the dead zone between pack lands where no wolf is supposed to go. Neutral ground, they call it, but there's nothing neutral about a place where both packs will kill you on sight. Finally, Kane stops. He sets me down with surprising gentleness, steadying me when I stumble. We're in a small clearing, surrounded by ancient oaks. Moonlight filters through the canopy, turning everything silver and shadow. I step back, putting distance between us. My legs shake but I lock my knees. I won't show weakness. Not now. Kane faces me. He's bigger than I remembered from the killing grounds, his shoulders broad enough to block out the trees behind him. Dark hair falls across his forehead, and those gold eyes, still glowing with his wolf, pin me in place. His jaw is set, a muscle ticking there. He looks angry. Good. I'm furious. What the hell was that? I demand. Saving your life. His voice is flat, emotionless. Like he didn't just upend everything, didn't just claim me in front of the entire pack, didn't just make himself a traitor for a rogue he was supposed to kill. I didn't ask you to save me. No. You asked for death. Something flickers in his eyes. You were going to let me kill you. I was innocent. The words burst out of me, raw and desperate. I didn't kill Marcus. I didn't kill the Alpha's son. But nobody believed me. Nobody listened. I know. I freeze. What? Kane's expression doesn't change, but his hands curl into fists at his sides. I know you didn't kill my brother. Brother. The word hits me like a physical blow. Marcus was his brother. And he still chose to. Then why did you agree to execute me? Because someone needed to die for Marcus's murder. His voice goes rough, edged with grief he's trying to hide. And you were the easy answer. The rogue found near the body, covered in his blood. The pack wanted vengeance. The Alpha wanted closure. So you were just going to kill me anyway? Rage floods through me, hot and bitter. Even knowing I was innocent? No. He takes a step toward me. I force myself not to retreat. I was going to find out who really killed him. But then I caught your scent at the execution grounds, and I smelled something else underneath it. Something familiar. My breath catches. What do you mean? You smell like Marcus's killer. Kane's eyes bore into mine, intense and searching. Not because you killed him. Because you were there. Because the real murderer's scent is all over you. I think back to that night, trying to remember through the haze of terror and confusion. I'd been running through the woods, fleeing from pack territory after they'd accused me of stealing. I hadn't stolen anything, I'd been hungry, desperate, but not a thief. Then I'd stumbled on the body. Marcus. The Alpha's son. Torn apart, soaked in blood. I'd frozen, horrified. And then they'd found me standing over him, his blood on my hands because I'd touched him, checked for a pulse even though I could see he was dead. I found him, I whisper. That's all. I found the body. And the killer was still there. Kane's voice drops low, dangerous. Watching. Close enough that their scent transferred to you. Close enough that when I scented you tonight, I knew. Knew what? That you were the key to finding who really murdered my brother. He moves closer, crowding into my space. I can feel the heat radiating off him, smell pine and earth and something wild. That I couldn't let you die. Not yet. The mate bond pulses between us, a thread connecting his heartbeat to mine. I hate it. Hate that I can feel his grief, his determination, his rage. Hate that some part of me wants to comfort him. So this, I gesture to my neck, to the mark that burns there. This was just strategy. A way to keep me alive long enough to use me? Kane's jaw tightens. The marking was instinct. When I got close enough to catch your scent, when I realized what it meant, my wolf took over. He sounds almost as surprised as I feel. I didn't plan it. But I won't apologize for it either. You're alive. That matters more than protocol. I'm alive and bound to you forever. The reality of it crashes over me. Mate bonds don't break. They're supposed to be sacred, chosen, wanted. You've tied me to you without my permission. Made me yours. Yes. No hesitation, no regret in his voice. Just simple truth. And now you're going to help me catch a killer. I should refuse. Should tell him to go to hell, that I owe him nothing, that saving my life doesn't give him the right to claim me or demand my help. But Marcus's killer is still out there. Still free. And if they're the reason I was almost executed tonight, then they need to pay. Fine. I cross my arms, ignoring how the movement pulls at my bound wrists. But after we find them, this bond is done. I don't care what it takes. We break it. Something flashes across Kane's face, hurt, maybe, or anger, but it's gone before I can read it. Agreed. He pulls a knife from his belt and cuts the ropes around my wrists. I rub feeling back into my hands, watching him warily. He sheathes the blade and turns to scan the forest. We need to move, he says. They'll track us here eventually. I bought us time, but not much. Where are we going? Somewhere safe. Somewhere I can think. He looks back at me, and in the moonlight, his eyes are more human now. Tired. Haunted. Somewhere you can tell me everything about that night. Every detail, no matter how small. I nod slowly. My neck throbs where he marked me, a constant reminder of what he did. What we are now. Mates. The word feels foreign, wrong. Mates are supposed to be destiny, love, choice. This is survival. Strategy. Revenge. Nothing more. Kane starts walking and I follow, keeping a careful distance between us. The forest is quiet now, the hunting howls long faded. We're alone in the forbidden territory, a rogue and a traitor, bound together by a mark neither of us wanted. Cain, I say after a few minutes of silence. He doesn't stop walking but his shoulders tense, acknowledging me. You said I smell like your brother's killer. What do they smell like? He's quiet for so long I think he won't answer. Then, like pack. Like home. His voice turns cold, deadly. Like someone we both trusted. Ice slides down my spine. You mean? I mean Marcus wasn't killed by a rogue. Cain stops and turns to face me, his expression carved from stone. He was murdered by someone in our own pack. Someone who let you take the fall. Someone who's probably sleeping peacefully tonight while you were supposed to die for their crime. The forest seems to hold its breath around us. You have 3 minutes, Cain says quietly, dangerously, to tell me why you smell like my brother's real murderer. Wanting to see what would happen next, subscribe to this channel to get to listen to more of our upcoming exciting stories. Click on the subscribe button now. Thank you. Chapter 2. The den is smaller than I expected. One room carved into the hillside, hidden behind a waterfall that muffles sound and masks scent. Smart. Cain's been planning bolt holes, I realize. Places to hide if things went wrong. Things have gone very wrong. I sit on a rough-hewn bench while Cain paces, his restless energy filling the small space. My neck still burns where he marked me, a constant pulse that seems to echo his heartbeat. The mate bond. I can feel it stretching between us like a living thing, trying to pull us together. I resist it with everything I have. Start from the beginning, Cain says. The night you found Matthias. Marcus, I correct automatically. He stops pacing, his jaw tight. His name was Matthias. Marcus was what the pack called him. The Golden Son, the Alpha's heir. But his real name was Matthias. There's pain in his voice, raw and fresh. I look away, focusing on the stone walls instead of the grief in his eyes. Grief I can feel through this cursed bond. I was running, I begin. Your pack accused me of stealing food from the storage house. I didn't, I was hungry, but I didn't steal. I was going to ask, but then the guards saw me near the building and assumed. I shake my head. It didn't matter. Rogues don't get the benefit of doubt. Cain says nothing, but I feel a pulse of something through the bond. Anger, maybe. Or shame. I ran because I knew what would happen if they caught me. Best case, they'd beat me and throw me out of territory. Worst case, I gesture around the den, well, we both know what the worst case was. Go on. I was deep in the woods, near the border between your pack's land and neutral territory. I thought I'd be safe there, that they'd give up the chase. Then I smelled blood. I close my eyes, remembering. So much blood. And underneath it, fear. Terror. I should have run the other way, but I'm an idiot, so I followed it. You were trying to help. Cain's voice is softer now. I was too late to help. I open my eyes and meet his gaze. Matthias was already dead when I found him. Torn apart. It looked like a feral attack, all rage and violence. But something felt wrong about it. What felt wrong? I struggle to put it into words. Feral wolves kill to kill. They're mindless, driven by instinct and madness. But this, whoever did this was angry. Personal. They didn't just want him dead. They wanted him to suffer. Cain's hands curl into fists. Did you see anyone? No. But I felt watched. Like someone was still there, hidden, observing. I rub my arms, remembering that crawling sensation between my shoulder blades. I checked for a pulse even though I could see it was hopeless. That's when your guards found me. They saw the blood on my hands and assumed the rest. And you didn't run. Where would I run to? I laugh, bitter. I'm a rogue. No pack, no family, no allies. Running just makes you look guilty. So I let them take me in, thinking surely they'd investigate, they'd see I couldn't have done this alone, couldn't have caused that much damage. I shake my head. I was wrong. Kane stops in front of me, close enough that I have to tilt my head back to look at him. You weren't wrong. They didn't want the truth. They wanted easy vengeance. And you were going to give it to them. I was going to buy time. He crouches down so we're eye level. This close, I can see flecks of amber in his gold eyes, can smell pine and something darker, wilder. I've been investigating Matthias's death since it happened. Quietly. Carefully. Because I knew something wasn't right about the official story. What story? That he was attacked by a rogue while patrolling the borders. That it was random violence, wrong place, wrong time. Kane's expression hardens. But Matthias was the best fighter in the pack. He wouldn't have gone down easy, wouldn't have been taken by surprise. And the kill site, it was too clean. Someone cleaned up after themselves. But they left the body. They left the body where it would be found quickly. Before scavengers could disturb the scene, before rain could wash away evidence. He stands, starts pacing again. It was staged. Made to look like a rogue attack. And then you appeared, perfect timing, perfect scapegoat. The pieces start falling into place. You think I was set up. I think you were in the wrong place at the right time for someone. Kane runs a hand through his hair, frustrated. I just couldn't figure out who. Until tonight, when I got close enough to really scent you. And I recognized it. My stomach drops. Recognized what? The scent underneath Matthias's blood. The scent that transferred to you when you touched his body. He stops, turns to face me. I recognized it because I've known it my whole life. The implication hits me like a physical blow. Someone from your pack. Someone from my family. The words come out harsh, like they're being ripped from him. The scent was pack, but more than that. It was family. My bloodline. I stand slowly, my legs unsteady. Kane. What are you saying? Before he can answer, his head snaps toward the entrance. His eyes flash gold and a low growl rumbles from his chest. Through the bond, I feel his alarm spike into readiness. They found us, he says. Already? How? My father's best trackers. Kane moves to a carved-out section of the wall and pulls out weapons. Knives, a short sword. He straps them on with practiced efficiency. I knew they'd come. I just hoped we'd have more time. Through the sound of the waterfall, I hear them. Voices. Footsteps. At least 4, maybe more. My heart hammers against my ribs. Stay here, Kane orders. Stay quiet. I'll handle this. They'll kill you. Your own father sent them. My father wants me alive. You, he wants dead. Kane grips my shoulders, his touch burning through the thin fabric of my shirt. Stay. Here. The bond flares between us, carrying his desperation, his fear, not for himself, but for me. I hate that I can feel it, hate that some part of me wants to soothe that fear. Kane. He's already moving toward the entrance. I watch him disappear through the narrow passage, hear the waterfall's roar increase as he steps outside. Then voices, sharp and commanding. Stand down, Kane. Alpha's orders. I don't take orders from murderers. Kane's voice carries back to me, cold as winter. You marked a rogue. You betrayed your pack. Your own father. A different voice, rougher. You're coming back with us. Both of you. Come take us, then. The sound of impact. Snarls. Fighting. I should stay hidden like Kane ordered. Should let him handle this while I cower in the den like a helpless victim. But I've never been good at following orders. I move to the entrance, pressing myself against the stone wall. Through the veil of water, I can see shadows moving. Cain fighting 3 wolves in human form, his movements brutal and efficient. Blood spatters rock. Someone cries out. Then I see the 4th tracker, circling wide, trying to get behind Cain. I don't think. I just move. Stepping through the waterfall is like stepping through ice. It drenches me instantly, plastering my clothes to my skin. But it also does something else. It washes away my scent, masks it completely. It's my gift, the one thing that's kept me alive as a rogue. I can camouflage my scent, become invisible to other wolves. The tracker doesn't see me coming. I slam into him from the side, using momentum and surprise rather than strength. We go down hard on the wet rocks. He's bigger, stronger, but I'm desperate and angry, and I've been fighting for survival my whole life. I get my hands around his throat, squeezing. He bucks beneath me, trying to throw me off. His hands claw at my arms, drawing blood. Through the bond, I feel Cain's shock, his rage. Then the tracker goes limp. Unconscious, not dead. I roll off him, gasping. Cain is suddenly there, hauling me to my feet. The other 3 trackers are down, one clearly dead, the others unconscious like mine. Blood covers Cain's knuckles, spatters his face. I told you to stay. He was going to kill you. I yank my arm from his grip. You're welcome. Cain stares at me, his chest heaving. Then his eyes narrow. Your scent. It's gone. I wipe water from my face. It's what I can do. Useful trick for a rogue. You can camouflage your scent completely. He sounds amazed and angry at the same time. That's how you survived this long alone. That's how I survived, period. I look at the unconscious trackers. What do we do with them? Leave them. We need to move before more come. Cain grabs my hand, and the contact sends a jolt through the bond. There's another den, deeper in neutral territory. We go there, regroup, figure out our next move. Our next move? I dig my heels in. I didn't agree to. You helped me fight. He turns to face me fully, and there's something fierce in his expression. You could have run. Should have run. Instead you saved my life. Don't read into it. I just didn't want to be hunted alone. Liar. But there's no heat in it. Come on. We're exposed here. He's right. I follow him into the forest, my hand still caught in his. The bond pulses between us, stronger now after the fight, after I chose to stay and help him. I try to ignore it. We run for what feels like hours. Cain knows these woods intimately, leading us through paths that hide our tracks, streams that wash away our scent. The moon rises higher, painting everything silver and shadow. Finally, we reach another den, this one even more hidden than the first. Cain has to move aside brush and vines to reveal the entrance. Inside, it's slightly bigger, with bedrolls already laid out, supplies stashed in corners. You've been planning this for a while, I observe. Since the day Matthias died. Cain lights a small lantern, and warm light fills the space. I knew something was wrong. Knew eventually I'd have to run. I sink onto one of the bedrolls, exhausted. Adrenaline is wearing off, leaving me shaky. Tell me. Tell me what you know about your brother's death. Cain sits across from me, his back against the stone wall. For a long moment, he just looks at me, weighing something. Then he starts talking. Matthias discovered something about our father. About the Alpha. He stares at his blood-stained hands. He came to me 3 weeks before he died, scared in a way I'd never seen him. Said he'd found documents, old pack records that didn't match up with the official history. Records of what? Challenges. Alphas who'd been challenged and defeated, their names erased from pack memory. Mates who'd been forced into bonds, their consent irrelevant. Cain's voice goes rough. And deaths. So many deaths. Wolves who questioned my father's authority, who discovered his secrets. All of them died in accidents or rogue attacks. My blood goes cold. How many? 17 in the last 10 years. That Matthias could prove. He looks up at me, and his eyes are haunted. He wanted to confront our father, demand answers. I told him to wait, to gather more evidence, to be smart about it. I thought I was protecting him. But someone found out what he knew. Someone found out, and they made sure he'd never tell. Kane's hands curl into fists. And I was so focused on pack loyalty, on duty, on believing my father couldn't possibly, his voice breaks. I got him killed. The grief through the bond is overwhelming. Before I can stop myself, I reach out and touch his hand. You didn't kill him, Kane. Someone else did. Someone who wanted to protect those secrets. Someone in my family. He turns his hand over, threading his fingers through mine. The contact sends heat racing up my arm. That's what I realized tonight when I scented you. The undertone wasn't just pack. It was bloodline. My father, my uncle, maybe my cousin. Someone with alpha blood. Your father, I whisper. You think your father ordered it? I think my father did more than order it. Kane's eyes meet mine, and there's terrible certainty in them. The scent on you, the one that transferred when you touched Matthias's body, I've been trying to place it all night. And then when we were fighting the trackers, when I was close to them, I caught it again. Caught what? The same scent. Faint, but there. They carried it on them because they'd been around whoever killed Matthias recently. He swallows hard. They'd been around my father. The implication hangs between us, terrible and final. The Alpha killed his own son, I say. The Alpha ordered Matthias's death. Kane's voice is hollow. Whether he did it himself or had someone else do it, the result is the same. My father murdered my brother to protect his secrets. I want to deny it, want to say it's impossible for a father to kill his own child. But I've seen too much cruelty in my life to believe anyone is above evil. And the pain radiating through Kane, the certainty, he believes it completely. What do we do? I ask quietly. We prove it. Kane's grip on my hand tightens. We find the evidence Matthias gathered. We expose my father for what he is. And we make sure Matthias's death meant something. They'll kill us. The whole pack will come after us. I know. He looks at our joined hands, then back at my face. But you have a choice, Sarah. This is my fight, my family's blood guilt. I forced this bond on you to save your life, but I won't force you to stay for this. You can leave. Run far enough that the bond fades, find a new territory, start over. I'll understand. The mate bond thrums between us, stronger now. I can feel his resolve, his grief, his desperate hope that I'll stay. I should leave. Should take the out he's offering and never look back. But I think about Matthias, torn apart and left for me to find. About the Alpha who let me take the fall for his own crime. About Kane, who saved me when he should have killed me, who's now losing everything to find justice for his brother. Your father tried to have me executed for a murder he committed, I say. That makes it my fight too. Relief crashes through the bond, so intense it steals my breath. Kane pulls me closer, until we're face to face, close enough that I can see the gold flecks in his eyes again. Thank you, he breathes. Don't thank me yet. We might both die for this. Then we die together. His hand comes up to cup my cheek, his thumb brushing the claiming mark on my neck. The touch sends electricity through me, making me shiver. Mates in truth, not just convenience. We're not mates, I protest, but it sounds weak even to me. We are. The bond doesn't lie, Sarah. His eyes search mine. I feel what you feel. Your fear, your anger, your attraction. I'm not attracted to you. Liar. He smiles, just a little, just enough to show teeth. But that's okay. I'm attracted enough for both of us. Heat floods through me, and I know he can feel it through the bond. Damn this connection. Damn him for marking me, for saving me, for making me feel things I don't want to feel. We should rest, I manage. Tomorrow we start hunting for evidence. Tomorrow, he agrees, but he doesn't move away. Neither do I. We stay like that, too close, the bond weaving tighter around us with every passing second. Outside, the forest is quiet. But I know it won't last. Kane's father, the alpha who murdered his own son, will send more trackers. Will hunt us to the ends of the earth to protect his secrets. We're not safe. We'll probably never be safe again. But when Kane finally pulls away and settles onto his bedroll, when I lie down on mine and feel him still there through the bond, I realize something terrifying. I don't want to be anywhere else. Even knowing it might kill us both, I'm staying. For justice. For Matthias. For Kane. Maybe, just maybe, for myself. Sarah, Kane's voice comes through the darkness. My father ordered Matthias's death. I just didn't know it until now. I know, I whisper back. We'll make him pay. Yes. We will. The bond hums between us, a promise and a threat, linking us together in this impossible fight. I close my eyes and try to sleep, knowing tomorrow everything changes. We're going to war with an alpha. And one way or another, this ends in blood. If you're still listening to this story up to this point, why don't you subscribe to this channel to continue getting impactful daily stories like this? We would be most grateful if you can do that to help boost this video to reach everyone. Thank you. Chapter 3. The Shadow Pack's territory isn't on any map. Kane leads us there through paths that seem to shift and change, through wards that make my skin prickle with old magic. We're deep in the wild lands now, where no established pack has claimed dominion. Where the outcasts live. How do you know about this place? I ask as we climb a steep ridge, our breath misting in the pre-dawn cold. Matthias found them first. Kane offers me his hand to help me over a fallen log. I take it, trying to ignore the warmth that spreads through me at his touch. He was looking for proof of the wolves our father had killed. Some of them ended up here instead of dead. Your father doesn't know about them? He knows rogues gather somewhere beyond his borders. He just doesn't know where, or how many, or that they're organized. Kane's expression darkens. He thinks they're scattered survivors, easy to pick off. He's wrong. We crest the ridge and I stop, stunned. Below us, hidden in a valley surrounded by mountains, is a village. Real structures, not just dens and caves. Cabins, a central lodge, training grounds. Smoke rises from chimneys. I can see wolves moving between buildings, hear the distant sound of voices and laughter. This is impossible, I breathe. This many rogues, this organized, someone should have noticed. They have protection. Old magic, older than the packs. Kane starts down the slope. Matthias said their leader is powerful. She's been gathering exiles for years, building something new. Their leader. My stomach twists with an inexplicable sense of foreboding as we approach the village. Wolves stop to watch us, their eyes wary and hostile. Word spreads fast, a pack enforcer in their midst. I can feel the tension crackling through the air. A woman steps out of the central lodge. She's tall, lean, with long dark hair braided back from a face I'd recognize anywhere, even after 7 years. No. It can't be. Lyra, I whisper. My sister stops when she sees me. For a moment, her carefully controlled expression cracks, showing shock and something that might be pain. Then her face goes cold, blank. Sarah. Her voice is different than I remember, harder, with an edge that could cut. I should have known you'd eventually show up here. You're alive. My legs feel weak. They told me you were dead. After the fire, after our pack. After our pack was slaughtered, you mean? Lyra descends the lodge steps with predatory grace. After the Alpha's forces came in the night and burned everything, killed everyone? Cain tenses beside me. Through the bond, I feel his alarm, his readiness to fight. I looked for you, I say desperately. I searched through the ashes, I tried to find. You left. Lyra's eyes are ice. Our parents were dying and you ran. The accusation hits like a physical blow. I was 10 years old. There were soldiers everywhere, the fire was spreading, you told me to run. And you did. Without looking back. She stops a few feet away, arms crossed. While I stayed. While I tried to save them. While I burned. I see the scars now, faint but present, running up her neck and disappearing beneath her collar. My throat closes. Lyra, I don't. She holds up a hand. I didn't survive hell to hear your excuses. What I want to know is why you've brought an Alpha's executioner to my home. He's different. I move slightly in front of Cain, protective despite myself. He's trying to stop his father. Cain Blackwood. Lyra looks him over with cold assessment. The Alpha's right hand. The blade that's cut down how many of my people? 20. 30. 47, Cain says quietly. 47 executions in 5 years. The number falls between us like stones. I feel sick. 47 lives ended by the man now bound to me by fate and mark. And yet you want sanctuary. Lyra laughs, sharp and bitter. You want me to protect the weapon that's been used against us. I want you to help us bring down the Alpha who murdered his own son, Cain says. The Alpha who ordered the attack on Sarah's pack 7 years ago. Who's been systematically eliminating anyone who threatens his power. That gets Lyra's attention. Her eyes narrow. You can prove this? We can. I step forward. Matthias, the Alpha's son, found evidence. We need to retrieve it, expose what the Alpha's done. But we need somewhere safe to plan from. Lyra studies us both for a long moment. The silence stretches, tense and fragile. Finally, she nods. You'll get your sanctuary. After Cain proves he's worth protecting. She raises her voice, addressing the gathered wolves. Trial by combat. Our way. If Blackwood wins, they both stay. If he loses, her smile is cold, I'm sure you can imagine. Cain doesn't hesitate. I accept. Cain, no, I start, but he cuts me off. It's fair. I've killed their friends, their families. They deserve the chance to fight back. Noble. Lyra's tone suggests it's anything but. The trial is in 1 hour. My champion will meet you in the arena. She turns to me. You come with me. We have a lot to discuss. I don't want to leave Cain, don't want to be separated when danger is coming. The bond pulses between us, carrying his certainty, his calm acceptance. He touches my hand briefly. I'll be fine. Go. Lyra leads me into the lodge. Inside, it's warm and surprisingly comfortable. Furniture made by hand, a fire crackling in the hearth. She pours 2 cups of something that smells like herbs and honey, hands me one. You've built something amazing here, I say, looking around. I built what we needed. What our pack should have been, a place where wolves can live without bowing to tyrant alphas. She sits across from me, cradling her cup. How long have you been rogue? Since that night. 7 years. I take a sip. The tea is good, warming me from the inside. I thought you were dead, Lyra. If I'd known. You'd have done what? Come find me? She shakes her head. You were a child. I don't actually blame you for running. But I blamed you for surviving when everyone else died. I blamed myself too. Good. But there's less edge to it now. The mate mark is fresh. How long? I touch my neck self-consciously. 2 days. He marked me to save me from execution. Romantic. Lyra's tone is dry. Do you know what kind of man you're bound to? I know he's killed a lot of wolves. Do you know why? Do you know how? She leans forward. I have rogues here who escaped his executions. Who watched him kill their packmates. They say he's efficient, brutal. That he never hesitates, never shows mercy. My stomach churns. He was following orders. That's what they all say. Lyra sets down her cup. Be careful, little sister. The mate bond is powerful, but it doesn't change who someone is at their core. Cain Blackwood is his father's weapon. What happens when he stops being useful to you? I want to defend him, want to say she's wrong. But I've only known Cain for 2 days. And 47 executions is a lot of blood. The trial, I say, changing the subject. Who's your champion? Marcus Reed. Former pack warrior, one of the best fighters I've ever seen. Lyra smiles slightly. If Blackwood survives, he's earned his place here. The arena is a cleared space in the center of the village, surrounded by training equipment and ringed with spectators. Every rogue in the settlement has come to watch. Their faces are hungry, eager. They want to see the Alpha's executioner bleed. Cain stands in the center, stripped to the waist, his body a map of scars. Each one tells a story of violence survived. He sees me in the crowd and something in his expression softens. Then his opponent enters, and Cain's focus shifts. Marcus Reed is huge, built like a bear, covered in ritual tattoos. He rolls his shoulders, grinning. Never thought I'd get a shot at the great Cain Blackwood. This is gonna be fun. No killing blows, Lyra calls out from her position overlooking the arena. This is a trial, not an execution. First to yield or be unable to continue loses. The fight starts without ceremony. Marcus lunges and Cain dodges, fast despite his size. They circle each other, trading blows that would break a normal human. The sound of impact echoes off the mountains. Cain is good, better than good. He moves like violence made flesh, every strike precise and devastating. But Marcus is good too, and he fights with the rage of someone who's lost everything to the Alpha's regime. I watch Cain take a hit that sends him sprawling. Blood streams from his nose. He gets up, spits red, and keeps fighting. Through the bond, I feel his pain, his determination. And underneath it, something darker. A numbness. Like he's done this so many times it's become automatic. He's beautiful, isn't he? A voice beside me. I turn to find an older woman, scarred and grizzled. In a terrible sort of way. You know him? Knew someone he executed. My mate. She watches the fight with hollow eyes. 3 years ago. We'd stolen food from pack territory, same as you probably did. Guards caught my mate, brought him before the Alpha. Cain Blackwood did the execution personally. My chest tightens. I'm sorry. Are you? She looks at me, and there's no accusation in her gaze, just weariness. That's the question, isn't it? Are we sorry for the wolves he killed following orders, or do we blame him anyway? Both, I whisper. Yeah. She turns back to the fight. Both. Cain takes Marcus down with a move that's pure instinct and training. The champion tries to rise, can't. The fight is over. For a moment, the crowd is silent. Then someone starts clapping, slow and deliberate. Others join in. It's not celebration, it's acknowledgement. Cain proved himself. Earned his place through blood and pain. I push through the crowd to reach him. He's breathing hard, blood dripping from a cut over his eye. When he sees me, he straightens, trying to hide how much he's hurting. I'm fine, he says before I can ask. You're not. I grab his arm, ignore the interested looks from the watching rogues. Come on. Let's get you cleaned up. Lyra provides us with a small cabin at the edge of the settlement. Privacy, she says, though I suspect it's also to keep Kane separated from the wolves who might decide trial by combat wasn't enough. I make Kane sit while I find supplies to clean his wounds. He watches me work in silence, his eyes tracking my movements. You're angry, he finally says. I'm processing. I wipe blood from his forehead with perhaps more force than necessary. 47, Kane. 47 wolves. I know. That woman out there, her mate was one of them. He stole food because he was hungry. You killed him for it. I remember him. Kane's voice is flat. I remember all of them. Names, faces, crimes. I remember every single execution. I pause, meeting his eyes. How? How do you do that and stay sane? I didn't. He looks away. I stopped feeling it. Stopped letting it touch me. Became exactly what my father needed, a weapon without conscience, without hesitation. His hands curl into fists. It was survive or break, Sarah. I chose survival. By killing innocents? By following orders in a system I couldn't escape. He stands abruptly, pacing. You think I don't know what I've done? You think I sleep well at night? Every face haunts me. Every name is carved into my bones. But I couldn't stop, couldn't refuse, because if I did... What? I demand. What would happen? Someone else would do the executions. Someone who would enjoy it. Kane stops, his back to me. And my father would find other uses for me. Worse uses. Uses that involved people I cared about getting hurt. Elena, I say, remembering what Matthias's documents suggested. My sister. She's gentle, kind. Everything our father despises. His voice cracks. I did what I had to do to keep her safe. Even if it meant becoming a monster. The bond thrums between us, carrying his anguish, his guilt, his desperate need for me to understand. I feel all of it, raw and overwhelming. You're not a monster, I say quietly. You don't know that. I do. I move in front of him, force him to look at me. A monster wouldn't remember their names. Wouldn't care that I'm angry. Wouldn't have saved me when killing me would have been easier. I saved you because you're not your father. I touch his face, thumb brushing the cut I just cleaned. You're not what he made you. Not entirely. Kane closes his eyes, leaning into my touch. I want to believe that. Then believe it. I pull back, needing space from the intensity. We'll make this right. We'll stop your father, expose what he's done. It won't erase your past, but it's something. It's everything. He catches my hand, holds it. Thank you. For staying. For believing I can be more than what I was. The moment stretches between us, charged with possibility. Then someone pounds on the door, urgent and panicked. Lyra bursts in without waiting for permission. We have a problem. One of my scouts just returned, barely alive. He has a message. From who? Kane demands. From your father. Lyra's expression is grim. He says to tell Kane Blackwood that if he wants to see his sister alive again, he'll surrender himself by the next full moon. Otherwise, Elena dies the way Matthias did. The world stops. Through the bond, I feel Kane's heart shatter. No, he whispers. No, I hit her. She was safe. He couldn't have. He found her. Lyra steps aside and a young man stumbles in, covered in blood, barely standing. Tell them. The Alpha raided the safe house. The scout's voice is weak, pained. Took the girl 3 days ago. She's in the fortress now. Heavy guard. He's using her as bait, waiting for you to He collapses. Lyra catches him, lowers him gently to the floor. Cain stands frozen, his face ashen. Elena. He has Elena. It's a trap, I say, though my heart is breaking for him. He wants you to come to him. To turn yourself in. I know. Cain looks at me, and his eyes are hollow. I have to go anyway. Cain. She's 14 years old, Sarah. Innocent. The only good thing our family ever produced. His voice shakes. I can't leave her there. I won't. Then we go together, I hear myself say. We plan, we strategize, we find a way to get her out without walking into his trap. There is no way. The fortress is impenetrable. The Alpha has 24 warriors, wards, defenses. Lyra's voice is hard but not unsympathetic. This is a suicide mission. Then I die. Cain's jaw sets. But I don't abandon my sister. The bond pulses with his determination, his desperation, his love for the little sister he's tried so hard to protect. And despite everything, despite the executions, the blood on his hands, the impossible odds, I know I'm going with him. Because that's what mates do. Even reluctant, unwanted mates bound by necessity rather than choice. We stand together or we fall together. We have 4 days until the full moon, I say. So we have 4 days to plan the impossible. Lyra, we need everything you know about the Alpha's fortress. Every weakness, every guard rotation, every possible way in. You're insane, my sister says flatly. Probably. I look at Cain, at the grief and fear in his eyes. But we're doing it anyway. Lyra studies us both for a long moment. Then she sighs, defeated. Fine. I'll help. But understand this, even with help, the odds are we all die. We're already dead if we don't try, Cain says. Elena is all that matters. No, I correct softly. Elena matters. Justice for Matthias matters. Stopping your father from killing anyone else matters. All of it matters. Through the bond, I feel his gratitude, his love. And beneath it, his certainty that this ends with his death. I'll prove him wrong. I have to. Because I'm not losing my mate 4 days after I got him. Even if neither of us wanted this bond in the first place. The scout on the floor stirs, gasps out one more sentence before passing out. The Alpha says, he'll make you watch, when he kills her. Cain's hands curl into fists. His eyes flash gold. Let him try, he says, and his voice promises murder. Let him fucking try. If you're still listening to this story up to this point, why don't you subscribe to this channel to continue getting impactful daily stories like this? We would be most grateful if you can do that to help boost this video to reach everyone. Thank you. Chapter 4. We plan through the night. Lyra spreads maps across the table, hand-drawn, detailed, showing every entrance to the Alpha's fortress, every guard post, every weak point. There aren't many weaknesses, she admits. The compound was designed to be impenetrable. But during the new moon ceremony, most of the guards will be inside the Great Hall for the ritual. That's your window. 30 minutes, maybe less. The new moon is in 2 days. Cain traces the fortress walls with his finger. We'll never be ready. Then we die unprepared. I lean against the table beside him. But we try anyway. He looks at me, and through the bond one feel his turmoil. He wants to tell me to stay behind, to keep me safe. But he knows I won't listen. The mate bond, Lyra says, watching us. How strong is it? Strong enough, Cain answers shortly. No, I mean, have you tested it? Pushed it? She taps the map. True mates can communicate telepathically. If your bond is deep enough, you won't need hand signals or radios. You'll know where each other is, what the other needs. I feel Cain's surprise through the bond. We've only been bonded for 4 days. Doesn't matter. It's not about time, it's about acceptance. Lyra looks at me. You've been fighting it, haven't you? The bond. Of course I have. I didn't choose. Life doesn't wait for you to choose, little sister. Her voice is surprisingly gentle. The bond is there. You can resist it and make yourself weaker, or accept it and make yourself stronger. Your call. After she leaves, Kane and I sit in silence. The cabin feels smaller somehow, the air between us charged with unspoken words. I don't know how to accept something I never wanted, I finally say. Neither do I. Kane's hand finds mine on the table. But I know I don't want to lose you. And if accepting this bond keeps you alive, keeps you safe, then I'll accept it 1,000 times over. Kane. I feel you, Sarah. Every emotion, every fear, every moment of anger or pain. It's overwhelming and terrifying and, he stops, searches for words. And it's the realest thing I've ever felt. You make me feel real. Not like a weapon, not like a tool. Like a person. The bond pulses between us, warm and insistent. I've been holding it at arm's length since the moment he marked me, afraid of what it means, afraid of losing myself. But maybe Lyra's right. Maybe resistance is just another way of choosing weakness. I close my eyes and stop fighting. The bond rushes in like a flood. I feel Kane's presence in my mind, his essence wrapping around mine. His strength, his pain, his fierce protective love, not just for Elena, but for me. And underneath it all, a grief so deep it threatens to drown us both. Sarah? His voice in my head, tentative and wondering. Can you hear me? I hear you. The thought flows between us as naturally as breathing. I'm here. Out loud, he breathes, thank you. I open my eyes and find him staring at me with something like awe. For what? For not giving up on me. On us. He pulls me closer, until I'm standing between his legs, his hands on my hips. I know what I am. What I've done. You'd be justified in hating me. I don't hate you. My hands rest on his shoulders. I hate what you had to become. There's a difference. Is there? Yes. I touch his face, feel him lean into my palm. The man who became a weapon to protect his sister isn't the same as the man who'd enjoy being one. You survived, Kane. That's not a crime. He pulls me against him, buries his face in my neck. Right where he marked me. The bond sings with his need, his desperation, his love. Love. It's too soon for love. We barely know each other. But the bond doesn't care about timing. I'm scared, he thinks to me, and the honesty of it breaks my heart. Scared I'll fail her. Scared I'll lose you. Scared I'll become what my father always wanted me to be. You won't. I thread my fingers through his hair. Because you're not alone anymore. We do this together. He lifts his head, and his eyes are bright with unshed tears. Together. We spend the next 2 days preparing. Lyra provides weapons, dark clothes, supplies. Other members of the Shadow Pack volunteer to create diversions, draw guards away. They're risking everything for a man who once hunted them. Why? I ask one of them, a young woman named Maya. Because if we don't stand together against tyrants, we all die alone. She checks her knives, her expression determined. And because Kane Blackwood fought for his place here. He earned our respect. The night of the new moon arrives too fast and not fast enough. We gather at the edge of the Alpha's territory, hidden in shadows. Lyra's scouts have confirmed Elena is being held in the fortress's lower levels. The dungeon. In and out, Lyra reminds us. Don't engage unless necessary. Get the girl and run. What about the other prisoners? I ask. The scouts said there were others. We free who we can. Kane's voice is hard. But Elena is priority. We move through the darkness like ghosts. The new moon hides us, and I use my ability to camouflage our scents. Guards pass within feet of us, never knowing we're there. The fortress looms ahead, ancient stone and modern security merged into something formidable. Through the windows, I can see the great hall lit for ceremony. Chanting echoes across the courtyard. They're calling on the old gods, Cain thinks to me. Asking for strength, for victory. My father loves these rituals. Makes him feel powerful. He is powerful, I respond. That's what makes him dangerous. We slip through a side entrance, a servant's passage that Lyra's maps showed. The interior is cold stone and flickering torches. Cain leads us down, into the bowels of the fortress. The dungeon is worse than I imagined. The smell hits first, blood, fear, human waste. Then the sounds. Whimpering. Chains rattling. Someone crying. Cain's rage through the bond is barely controlled. He's been torturing them. His own people. Not his people, I correct. His victims. We find Elena in the last cell. She's barely recognizable, thin, bruised, her clothes torn. When she sees Cain, she tries to stand and collapses. Cain. Her voice is hoarse, broken. Is this real? I'm here, little star. He's at the cell door, working the lock with tools Lyra provided. I'm getting you out. It's a trap. Elena's eyes are too old for her face. He knew you'd come. He's waiting. The door behind us slams shut. Lights flare to life, bright and blinding. When my vision clears, the Alpha stands at the end of the corridor, flanked by guards. He's older than Cain, graying at the temples, but still powerfully built. His eyes, Cain's eyes, assess us with cold calculation. My son, he says. So predictable. So weak. Cain puts himself between us and his father. Let them go. Your fight is with me. My fight has always been with you. The Alpha moves closer, unhurried. From the moment you were born, you've been a disappointment. Too soft. Too sympathetic. Just like your mother. Through the bond, I feel Cain flinch. Yes, let's talk about your mother. The Alpha's smile is cruel. Did you ever wonder why she died? Why she fell so conveniently when you were 8 years old? It was an accident. But Cain's voice wavers. She fell from the cliffs. She was pushed. The Alpha says it casually, like discussing the weather. By my beta, on my orders. Because she was planning to run. Planning to take you and Elena and disappear in the night. She would have made you weak, made you soft. I couldn't allow it. The world tilts. Through the bond, Cain's anguish hits me like a physical blow. His mother didn't fall. She was murdered. By the man standing before us. You killed her. Cain's voice is hollow. You killed our mother. I eliminated a problem. The Alpha shrugs. And it worked, didn't it? Without her influence, I molded you into exactly what I needed. The perfect weapon. Obedient, efficient, ruthless. No. I step forward, putting myself beside Cain. He's not your weapon anymore. The Alpha's eyes focus on me for the first time. Ah, yes. The rogue. The one who survived her execution. He tilts his head, studying me. You're the reason my son betrayed everything. The reason he marked a worthless wolf and abandoned his duty. She's worth more than you'll ever be, Cain snarls. Perhaps. The Alpha's expression doesn't change. But that changes nothing. You have a choice, Cain. Return with me. Execute this rogue publicly, prove your loyalty is still to your pack, to your father. Do this, and Elena lives. Refuse, he gestures to the guards, and I kill them both here, now, while you watch. Don't listen to him, Elena calls weakly. Cain, don't. You have 30 seconds, the Alpha interrupts. Choose. Through the bond, I feel Kane's mind fracturing. Years of conditioning, of obeying his father, of doing whatever was necessary to survive, all of it rises up, threatening to drown him. He's shaking, his whole body tense with the effort of resisting. Kane, I think to him desperately. Listen to me. You're not his weapon. You're not his son. You're mine. You're Elena's brother. You're the man who saved me when killing me would have been easier. That's who you are. I don't know how to be that person, he responds, and his mental voice is breaking. I don't know how to not obey. Then don't think. Just act. Trust yourself. Trust us. 20 seconds, the Alpha says. Trust the bond, I continue. Trust that I won't let you fall. Kane straightens. When he speaks, his voice is steady. No. The Alpha's eyes narrow. What did you say? I said no. Kane's hand finds mine, grips it. I'm not your weapon. I'm not executing anyone for you. And I'm taking my sister and leaving. Then you've chosen death. The Alpha nods to his guards. Kill them all. The guards advance. I drop Kane's hand and let my ability flow through me, camouflaging not just my scent but my presence. I become shadow and absence, invisible to Wolf's senses. I'm going for Elena, I think to Kane. Keep them busy. Be careful. I move like smoke through the guards, while Kane engages his father. The sound of their combat, snarls, impacts, breaking bone, echoes through the dungeon. Elena's cell is still locked. I grab the tools Kane dropped and work frantically. Behind me, I hear other prisoners calling out, begging for freedom. The lock clicks. I pull the door open and Elena stumbles out into my arms. Who, she starts. Your brother's mate. We're getting you out. I support her weight, start moving toward the other cells. Can you walk? I can try. We free prisoner after prisoner. 5, 10, 15 wolves who'd been locked up for crimes as simple as questioning the Alpha's authority. They're weak, beaten, but alive. And angry. Run, I tell them. There's a passage to the east. Shadow Pack wolves are waiting to guide you to safety. They scatter. Elena leans heavily on me as we move toward where Kane is fighting. His father is good, decades of experience and raw power behind every blow. But Kane is better. Faster. And he's fighting not just for survival, but for freedom. Kane gets his father on the ground, hand around his throat. The Alpha gasps, eyes wide with surprise. For the first time, he looks afraid. Do it, the Alpha rasps. Prove you're strong enough. Kill me. Kane's hand tightens. I feel his desire through the bond, the need to end this, to make his father pay for everything. For Matthias. For their mother. For every wolf he forced Kane to kill. But I also feel his hesitation. His humanity. Kane, I think gently. You don't have to be what he made you. Not even for revenge. Kane's hand loosens. He stands, leaving his father alive on the ground. I'm not you, he says quietly. I won't become you. I feel pride through the bond, love. And then sudden, spiking alarm. Kane, behind you. The Alpha's beta, a man named Garrett who I hadn't noticed in the shadows, lunges from behind Kane, blade in hand. Kane starts to turn, too slow. I don't think. I just move. The blade meant for Kane's heart hits my side instead. Pain explodes through me, white-hot and all-consuming. I hear Kane scream my name as I fall. Through the bond, I feel his horror, his rage, his love. It's overwhelming, drowning me in emotion. The Alpha's laughter echoes through the dungeon. The execution you avoided is happening anyway, rogue. Just slower. More painful. Kane is at my side, pressing his hand to the wound. Blood, so much blood, pools beneath me. Stay with me, he thinks desperately. Sarah, please, stay with me. I'm here, I manage. But it's getting harder to think, to focus. Get Elena out. That's what matters. You matter. His mental voice is ragged. You matter more than anything. Elena is crying, trying to help stop the bleeding. Other freed prisoners have returned, surrounding us, protecting us from the Alpha's guards. We need to move, one of them says urgently. More guards are coming. Kane lifts me in his arms. Every movement sends agony through my body, but I don't cry out. I won't give the Alpha the satisfaction. I will kill you for this, Kane says to his father, his voice arctic. Not today. But one day, when you least expect it, I will end you. You're welcome to try, son. The Alpha wipes blood from his mouth, still smiling. But your mate will be dead long before then. That wound is fatal. She'll be gone within the hour. He's lying, I think to Kane, though I'm not sure he is. I'm fine. You're not fine. But he starts moving, carrying me toward the exit. Elena follows, supported by another freed prisoner. But you're going to be. I won't let you die. We run through corridors, the freed prisoners fighting off guards, buying us time. I feel myself fading, the world getting distant and gray. Kane, I think weakly. If I don't make it. You're making it. His mental voice is fierce, unyielding. You don't get to leave me. We're mates. We're bonded. Where you go, I go. That's not how it works. It is now. We burst out of the fortress into moonless night. Lyra is there with others from the Shadow Pack, covering our escape. She sees me in Kane's arms, sees the blood, and her expression goes hard. Get her to the healer, she orders. Now. Run. Kane runs. I feel his desperation through the bond, his refusal to let me go. Elena keeps pace beside us, crying and exhausted but determined. I'm sorry, I think to him. Sorry I took that blade for you. Don't apologize for saving my life. Someone had to. You're too important. You're everything. His mental voice breaks. You're everything, Sarah. Don't leave me. Please don't leave me. I want to promise him I won't. Want to tell him I'll fight, I'll survive. But the darkness is closing in, the pain fading into numbness. The last thing I feel before consciousness leaves me is Kane's love through the bond, desperate and consuming and absolute. I love you, he thinks. I should have said it before. I love you. Love you too, I manage. Then nothing. I wake to pain and the smell of herbs. Slowly, awareness returns. I'm lying on a bed, bandaged, alive. Somehow alive. Don't move. Lyra's voice. The healer says you're lucky. The blade missed anything vital. You'll recover. I turn my head carefully. My sister sits beside the bed, her expression unreadable. How long? I ask, my voice hoarse. 2 days. You've been in and out. She offers me water, helps me drink. Your mate hasn't left your side except when we forced him to. Kane. I reach for him through the bond and find him there, steady and constant. He's close. Just outside, I think. We got Elena out, Lyra continues. And 15 other prisoners. They're all recovering. It's not nothing, what you did. The Alpha? Alive. Wounded, but alive. His pack is in chaos. Half of them saw what happened, saw him order his own son's execution, saw him torture innocent wolves. There's talk of a challenge. Revolution. She smiles slightly. You started something. Before I can respond, Kane pushes into the room. He looks terrible, exhausted, hollow-eyed, still covered in dried blood. When he sees me awake, something breaks in his expression. Sarah. He's at my bedside in 2 strides, taking my hand. You're awake. Apparently. I manage a weak smile. Did we win? We survived. That's winning enough. He touches my face gently, like he's afraid I'll break. You terrified me. I thought. I know. I squeeze his hand. I felt it. Through the bond. The bond saved you, Lyra says. Kept you anchored, kept you fighting. Without it, you'd have died. She stands. I'll give you privacy. After she leaves, Kane carefully sits on the edge of the bed. I meant what I said. In the fortress. I love you. I know. I touch his face, feel his relief through the bond. I love you too. Didn't plan to, but life doesn't wait for plans. No. I laugh, then wince as it pulls at my wound. It really doesn't. Elena wants to see you. When you're stronger. Kane's expression softens. She says you saved her life. She's right. We saved each other. I look at him, this man who was a stranger days ago, who's now more important to me than breathing. What happens now? Now we finish what we started. Kane's eyes harden with determination. We expose my father. We build evidence, gather witnesses. We make sure he pays for every life he's taken. And then? Then, he leans down, presses his forehead to mine. Then we figure out how to live. As mates. As partners. As something other than hunted and desperate. Through the bond, I feel his hope, tentative and fragile. I send him back my certainty, my commitment. Together, I whisper. Together, he agrees. Outside, I hear voices. The shadow pack preparing, planning. Elena laughing at something, the sound young and bright despite everything she's endured. Survivors finding ways to heal. We have a long road ahead. The Alpha is still powerful, still dangerous. But we're not alone anymore. We have allies, purpose, each other. The execution I was supposed to die at is behind us. Whatever comes next, we'll face it together. Mates in truth. Partners in revolution. And I wouldn't have it any other way. If you're still listening to this story up to this point, why don't you subscribe to this channel to continue getting impactful daily stories like this? We would be most grateful if you can do that to help boost this video to reach everyone. Thank you. Chapter 5. The infection sets in on the 3rd day. I burn with fever, my body fighting poison from the beta's blade. The healer, an old woman named Mara with gentle hands and worried eyes, does everything she can, but the wound festers. I drift in and out of consciousness, lost in nightmares of blood and silver blades. Through it all, Kane is there. I feel him through the bond, anchoring me, pouring his strength into me when mine fails. He doesn't sleep, doesn't eat unless Lyra forces him. He just holds my hand and refuses to let me go. Stay with me, his voice echoes through my fevered dreams. Stay with me, Sarah. Fight. I'm trying, I manage back. So tired. I know. But you don't get to rest yet. We have too much left to do. On the 4th day, I wake to voices arguing. My eyes feel too heavy to open, but I can hear them clearly. She's dying. Lyra's voice, tight with frustration. The poison is spreading faster than we can fight it. Without proper medicine. Then get proper medicine. Kane sounds hollow, desperate. From where? The nearest pack with a real healer is the Alphas. You think he'll help us after what happened? Silence. Then Elena's voice, young and fierce, then we take it. We raid the fortress, take what we need. That's suicide, someone else says. One of the freed prisoners, I think. So is sitting here watching her die. Elena's voice breaks. She saved me. Saved all of us. We can't just. We're not giving up. Kane's voice cuts through the argument. Lyra, gather volunteers. We move at dawn. We take what we need and we get out. Kane, Lyra starts. I'm not arguing about this. His tone leaves no room for debate. Sarah dies, I die. The bond won't survive it. So either help me save her, or get out of my way. I want to tell him not to risk it, that he can't throw away everything for me. But consciousness slips away again before I can speak. I'm drowning in darkness when I feel it, a shift in the bond. Multiple presences, urgent and alarmed. Through Kane's eyes, I see what he sees, wolves approaching the Shadow Pack's territory. Dozens of them, led by Marcus Reed, the champion Kane fought days ago. And behind him, more wolves I recognize from the Alpha's pack. Warriors who served under Kane's father for years. It's a trap, I think desperately to Kane. They're here to finish what the Alpha started. But as I watch through our connection, Marcus raises his hands in a gesture of peace. We're not here to fight. We're here to help. Lyra steps forward, wary. Why would we trust you? Because the Alpha lied to us. Marcus's voice carries across the clearing. For years, he told us we were keeping the pack strong, eliminating threats. But after what happened in the fortress, he looks at Kane. We heard the prisoners' stories. We know what really happened to Matthias. What really happened to a lot of wolves who disappeared. You served him, Kane says coldly. You followed his orders. You're complicit. Yes. Marcus doesn't flinch from the accusation. We are. And we can't undo that. But we can stop following him. We can help make things right. He gestures to the wolves behind him. Half the pack walked away after you left. We're done with his tyranny. Done with fear-based rule. Pretty words, Lyra says. What are you really here for? The Alpha is planning something. A female warrior steps forward. He's gathering loyalists, calling in debts from neighboring packs. He's going to attack this place, wipe out everyone here, make an example of what happens when you defy him. Through the bond, I feel Kane's alarm spike into cold fury. When, he demands. 2 days. Maybe 3. Marcus meets his eyes. We came to warn you. To offer our strength. And, he glances at someone behind him, and Elena pushes forward, carrying a leather bag, to bring medicine. For your mate. The medicine works. Within hours, my fever breaks. By the next day, I can sit up without wanting to pass out. Mara declares it a miracle, but I know the truth. The mate bond and Kane's stubborn refusal to let me die were what really saved me. You look better. Elena sits beside my bed, smiling. She's gained some weight back, the bruises fading. She looks younger, more like the girl she should be. Thanks to you. I gesture to the now empty medicine bottles. You brought those? Marcus helped. He knew where the supplies were kept. She picks at the bedding. Kane says you're going to recover fully. No permanent damage. Your brother is an optimist. My brother is in love. Elena grins. He's been insufferable, you know. Won't shut up about you. Sarah this, Sarah that. Her impression of Kane makes me laugh, which pulls at my wound but feels good anyway. He's not that bad. He's exactly that bad. Her smile fades. But I'm glad. He deserves happiness. After everything he did to protect me, all the things he endured, she swallows hard. He deserves you. I take her hand. We're going to make things better. No more tyrants. No more wolves executed for minor crimes. A new way. You really think it's possible? I think we have to try. That night, Kane calls a meeting. Everyone gathers, Shadow Pack wolves, freed prisoners, defectors from the Alpha's pack, all crowded into Lyra's great hall. I insist on attending, supported by Kane on one side and Lyra on the other. The Alpha is coming, Kane says without preamble. He'll bring everyone still loyal to him, plus reinforcements from allied packs. We're outnumbered 3-1, maybe worse. Murmurs run through the crowd. Fear, anger, resignation. But we have something he doesn't, Kane continues. We have the truth. And we have each other, not bound by fear or obligation, but by choice. By the decision to stand together against tyranny. Pretty speech, someone calls out. Doesn't change the numbers. No. But it changes why we fight. Kane's eyes sweep the room. The Alpha thinks we'll scatter, run, try to survive alone. That's what he's counting on. Instead, we stand. We fortify this position. And when he comes, we show him that the old ways are dead. You want us to fight? Marcus stands. Some of us just left that life. You're asking us to go right back into battle? I'm asking you to fight for something worth fighting for. Kane's voice rings with conviction. Not for power or territory or dominance. For the right to live without fear. For justice. For a future where strength doesn't mean cruelty. Silence falls. Then Lyra steps forward. I'm in. The Shadow Pack stands with you. So do I. Elena's voice, clear and strong despite her age. And I. Marcus nods slowly. We all do. That's why we came. One by one, wolves step forward, declaring their allegiance. Not to Kane as Alpha, but to the cause. To each other. Through the bond, I feel Kane's hope bloom, fragile but real. We can do this, I think to him. Together. Together, he agrees. The Alpha arrives 2 days later with an army at his back. We're ready. Fortifications have been built, defensive positions established. Lyra's ward strengthen the perimeter. Every wolf who can fight is armed and positioned. Those who can't, the young, the injured, the old, are hidden in caves deep in the mountains. I stand beside Kane on the ridge overlooking the valley, despite his protests about my healing wound. Through the bond, I steady him, and he steadies me. The Alpha's forces spread across the valley floor like a dark tide. So many. Too many. Last chance, son. The Alpha's voice carries up to us. Surrender. Give me the rogues who corrupted you, and I'll let you live. Let you rule beside me as was always meant to be. Kane's answer is to bare his teeth. The only thing you'll get from me is justice for every wolf you've murdered. Then you'll die with them. The Alpha raises his hand, about to signal the attack. That's when Elena moves. She's been standing slightly behind us, quiet and still. Now she walks forward, to the edge of the ridge, and I feel her power gathering. She's never shifted before, too young, too scared. But rage and love are powerful catalysts. Her first shift is beautiful and terrible. For the color of moonlight, eyes glowing gold, larger than any wolf her age should be. She throws back her head and howls, and the sound echoes across the valley. The Alpha falters. He recognizes her, sees what she's become. Elena, he breathes. My daughter. Come home. You're not my father. Elena's mental voice is strong, carried on pack bonds to every wolf present. A father doesn't torture his children. Doesn't kill his own sons. Doesn't murder their mother. Gasps ripple through both sides. The Alpha's allies shift uncertainly. You killed her, Elena continues, and her voice breaks. You killed Mom. Kane told me the truth. You're a murderer and a tyrant, and I will never, ever call you father again. The Alpha's expression twists with rage. You ungrateful, he lunges forward, moving with supernatural speed toward the ridge. Toward Elena. Cain intercepts him, and they collide in a clash of fury and violence. Father and son, locked in combat that's been years in the making. Around them, the battle begins, wolves from both sides engaging, the valley erupting into chaos. I want to help Cain, but Lyra grabs my arm. Your wound, you'll tear it open. He needs me. He needs you alive. She pulls me toward a defensive position. Use your ability. Camouflage our fighters, give them the advantage. She's right. I reach deep, extending my gift beyond myself, weaving it through the wolves fighting for our cause. We become shadows, invisible to enemy senses. The tide starts to turn. But the Alpha is strong, decades of power and rage fuel him. He's beating Cain, forcing him back. Through the bond, I feel Cain's pain, his desperation. And underneath it, that old conditioning. The voice that says he can't win, can't defeat his father, must obey. Cain, listen to me. I project through the bond, forcing past his spiraling thoughts. You're stronger than him. You're better than him. You always have been. He's nothing. Just a sad old man who ruled through fear because he had nothing else. The Alpha gets Cain on the ground, hand around his throat. I made you. I forged you into a weapon. You're mine. No. Cain's voice is steady despite the pressure on his windpipe. I was never yours. I was Mom's. I was Matthias's. I was Elena's. And now I'm Sarah's. I belong to the people I love, not the man who tried to break me. He breaks the Alpha's hold, reverses their positions. They struggle, but Cain is winning now, fueled by love instead of fear. You can't kill me, the Alpha gasps. You don't have it in you. You're too weak. You're right. Cain stands, leaves his father on the ground. I won't kill you. Because I'm nothing like you. The Alpha's expression shifts to triumph. He reaches for a hidden blade. And Elena tears out his throat. She's there in her wolf form, moving faster than thought, protecting her brother the way he's always protected her. The Alpha falls, gurgling, dying. His eyes are wide with shock. Around them, the fighting stutters to a halt. Wolves from both sides stare at the fallen Alpha, at the girl who killed him. But Elena doesn't stand alone. One by one, other wolves approach. Marcus. The freed prisoners. Defectors from the Alpha's pack. Even some of his former loyalists who have watched the battle, heard the revelations, seen the truth. They form a circle around the Alpha's body. A collective statement, this wasn't murder. This was justice. This was the pack, acting as one, ending a tyrant's reign. The Alpha dies with dozens of eyes watching, his power broken not by a single challenger but by the united will of the wolves he oppressed. In the silence that follows, Cain pulls Elena, still in wolf form, against him. You saved me, little star. She shifts back, naked and shaking and crying. He was going to kill you. I couldn't, I had to. I know. You did what was right. Cain wraps his arms around her. Mom would be proud. Through the bond, I feel his grief, his relief, his love. And underneath it all, freedom. The chains of his conditioning, snapped at last. The Alpha's remaining loyalists surrender or flee. The battle is over. We've won. But the cost, I look around at the wounded, the dead. Too many dead, even in victory. The next weeks are a blur of rebuilding. We establish a council, Cain, Lyra, Marcus, and 3 others elected by the wolves who've chosen to stay. No single Alpha. No absolute power. Just leadership through consensus and choice. The freed prisoners find places in the new order. Elena, despite her age, earns respect for her strength and compassion. She's healing, slowly, from everything the Alpha did to her. I heal too, my wound finally closing to a scar. Mara declares me fully recovered, then gives me a knowing look. You should see me in private, she says. When you're ready. For what? You'll know soon enough. She pats my hand and leaves me confused. 3 days later, I wake up violently ill. I barely make it outside before emptying my stomach into the bushes. When I straighten, Kane is there, alarmed. Are you all right? Is it the wound? Is it infected again? I don't think it's the wound. My hand goes to my stomach, and suddenly Mara's words make sense. The timing, the symptoms. Kane. I think I'm pregnant. He stares at me. Through the bond, I feel his shock, his disbelief, then slowly blooming joy. Pregnant, he repeats. We're having a baby? I think so. The mate bond, it's rare, but sometimes when a marking happens during trauma, when both wolves are near death, it can. I stop, seeing his expression. Are you okay with this? Am I okay with? He laughs, wild and incredulous, and pulls me into his arms. Sarah. I was going to kill you. That was my job, my purpose. To execute you and move on to the next one. And instead, you became everything. My mate, my partner, my reason to break free. And now, his hand covers mine on my stomach. Now you're giving me a future I never thought I'd have. I kiss him then, deep and full of promise. Around us, life continues. Wolves training, building, laughing. A new pack rising from the ashes of the old. We should get married, Kane says against my lips. Properly. A mating ceremony, witnessed by the pack. Is that a proposal? It's a statement of intent. He pulls back enough to look at me. I want everyone to know you're mine. That we chose each other. Even though we didn't choose. I smile. Not at first. We chose to stay. That's what matters. The mating ceremony happens a month later, under the full moon. The entire pack attends, Shadow Pack wolves, former Alpha Pack members, rogues who've heard about the new order and come to see it for themselves. Even other packs send representatives, curious about this experimental council leadership. Lyra officiates, her voice carrying across the gathered wolves. We witnessed the mating of Kane and Sarah. 2 wolves who found each other in darkness and created light. Who fought against tyranny and won. Who proved that strength isn't about dominance, it's about standing together. Kane and I face each other, hands clasped. The mate mark on my neck thrums with power, answering to the one Kane bears on his shoulder, the mark I gave him in a private ceremony last week, completing the bond. You were supposed to be my last kill, Kane whispers, quiet enough that only I can hear. Instead, you became my first reason to live. And you were supposed to be my executioner, I whisper back. Instead, you became my salvation. We seal the bond with a kiss, and the pack howls their approval. The sound rises to the moon, joyous and wild and free. Later, after the ceremony, after the feast and the dancing, Kane and I slip away to our cabin. We lie together in the darkness, his hand on my stomach where our child grows. What kind of world are we bringing them into? I ask quietly. A better one than we had. Kane's voice is certain. Not perfect. But better. With choice, with justice, with a chance to live without fear. Do you think it'll last? This new way? I think we'll fight like hell to make it last. He kisses my forehead. And if it starts to fail, we'll fix it. We'll keep fixing it, over and over, until we get it right. Through the bond, I feel his determination, his hope, his love. And I send back the same. Outside, wolves patrol the perimeter, keeping watch. Inside, Elena sleeps safely in her own cabin, surrounded by friends. The pack settles into peaceful night, no longer ruled by fear. But as I'm drifting off to sleep, I feel something through the bond. A disturbance. Kane feels it too. He tenses, reaches for the knife he keeps beside the bed. We move to the window together, looking out into the darkness. At first, I see nothing. Then movement, a lone wolf, watching from the tree line. Watching us. The moonlight catches its eyes, and they glow gold. Alpha gold. The same shade as the man we killed. Cain, I breathe. Those eyes. I see them. His voice is hard. The Alpha had another son. One he never acknowledged. One who's been in hiding for years. How do you? Matthias mentioned him once. Before he died. Said our father had secrets, children he'd abandoned. Cain's arm wraps around my waist, protective. I didn't believe him. The wolf watches us for another moment, then melts back into the darkness. Gone. But not forgotten. The Alpha's legacy returned to haunt us. We'll deal with it, I say firmly. Whatever comes, we'll handle it. Together. Together, Cain agrees. The night closes back in, peaceful despite the threat. We return to bed, to each other, to the future we're building. The Alpha is dead. His reign ended. But his shadow remains, a reminder that the fight for freedom is never truly over. It just changes shape. And we'll be ready. Whatever comes next, whether it's this mysterious brother, or new threats, or just the challenge of building something that lasts, we'll face it the same way we've faced everything else. As mates. As partners. As revolutionaries who refuse to let tyranny win. The executioner's mercy led us here. To love, to hope, to a new beginning. And that, in the end, is enough. The end. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe, like and share this video to continue listening to this type of story daily and also, to appreciate this community too. I would like to hear your wonderful opinion about this story. Please comment below.